Hello everyone, welcome to Halo Moon Tarot. This is a bonus reading. I'm doing one for each sign. This is for Sagittarius, your next love interest and what it is you need to know. Your next love interest, Sagittarius, your next love. This one here wants to come out in this one. Okay. Just going to look at their energy. Love interest. Sagittarius, your next love interest. Okay, if you're a feminine energy, I do think this is someone here. This is interesting. I wonder if you're even going to look at this person if they're your type here. Because I do feel it's somebody here, somebody can come across as a little cold, strict, maybe even, a little stringent. So I don't know if this is someone who'll be your type, but I do think there's going to be interest. Yeah, you might connect with this person online or through some friends or family. I think at first you're going to feel negative towards this person, but I do think you're going to start to see the bigger picture. I think you're going to feel at first that they're not your type, and then you're going to kind of look at them different. Yeah, and I do think they are rather strict and stringent. Now, this person could be, when I see the King of Swords here, I mean, they could work in the army, they could be a police officer, a lawyer, work in sciences. They have a tendency to overanalyze and come across as cold. But I think once you get to know this person, you're going to start feeling different and seeing them a little differently, and they'll probably behave different. I feel this is someone who takes a little time to warm up. Yeah, and I do feel this person has a pretty even temperament. I do think they think before they speak. They are strategic, but I do think highly intelligent. Now, they could have sharper features, because often the King of Swords, I'm looking at what they may look like. I would have to say like maybe sharper features, sharper than normal, or your usual type, whatever it is that you like. But I feel, again, I mean, they can be a little judgmental, although I feel they try not to be. Tell me about the Two of Pentacles up here. They could be a bit of a procrastinator because they get into their head. Okay? Yeah, I do think this is somebody who, they have a tendency to kind of keep things to themselves, or they just stick to themselves a lot. So they could be somebody who's actually kind of lonely. But like I feel they're probably kind of, have a strict and structured, very particular person. But I do think this is someone highly intuitive. They trust their intuition. Yeah, I do think they have good morals and values. This is a faithful person. They expect faith, truth, and they speak truth. This isn't somebody who is going to, if there is a secret, they'll tell you. But I don't think it's about secrets. It's more about trusting their intuition. Until this person makes decisions sometimes too, they probably, like I feel, they kind of go back and forth in their head. And they will tell you once they've, figured it out. And I do see possibly Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy, but this is some Taurus energy here. So I do see structure. They have a lot of self-discipline. I feel they're smart, and maybe even educated or self-taught. They are definitely someone who likes to learn. Yeah, they've definitely learned from, the school of hard knocks too. They definitely have too, but I do think they have good morals, values. I do think their friends are like family, so they're very loyal to people. They expect that too, I feel. Let's have a look at the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, this person has Emperor energy, so a lot of self-disciplines, and this person's probably self-made. But yeah, they are definitely, and they are somebody who makes things happen too, but they are someone that goes back and forth in their head. They'll kind of think before they speak or keep things to themselves until they've thought it through, till they know what they need to know. So, interesting person. Yeah, they could be in charge of something. If they're a lawyer or a police officer, they're higher ranking. So they have some kind of rank here. Wow. And they are definitely, you can see there's someone who often looks at the bigger picture before they make decisions. And they're definitely very logical. Wow. Tell me more about this person with the Ten of Cups here. Ten of Cups. Yeah, they do have a tendency to procrastinate a little bit. They like to really think things through. They could compare you to other people, or you may do that, but yeah, no, this person juggles work. That's what it is. They're always juggling. They work a lot. And when you connect with this person, they'll just tell you. I feel they're an open book. You want to know something, they'll tell you. And yeah, very interesting energy. I do see some Aries energy, Mars energy, and Pisces. So they are emotional, but you can see with an Emperor energy, they often keep that to themselves until, the time's right. Yeah, they are stable. They do come in right. Yeah, this is someone who'll come in right. They are someone who commits too. They're not a non-committal person. They are somebody who prefers commitment. Yeah, interesting. This person takes you out places, they pay for everything. So there's definitely a very masculine energy around them. Yeah, they are stable financially. It could be a business owner, like I say, high ranking. Yeah, they focus a lot on their finances. I mean, for some of them, they could work in a financial situation. Also, the King of Swords often has that energy. So this is kind of interesting. But yeah, they are often someone who stays grounded. And they can be very practical at times. Yeah, they weigh the pros and the cons of things. But yeah, this is somebody who likes to plan and prepare ahead. They're always preparing for the rainy day. But yeah, they are definitely stable financially. They really do. I feel there's, kind of strict self-discipline. They're very good with numbers, or maybe good with math or things like that too. I mean, they could just, I feel they're a higher ranking person. Somebody of authority. Tell me about this Hierophant energy. Hierophant energy. What else do we need to know about this person with the Hierophant? Their lifestyle. They may have certain habits. They have a habit of procrastinating, or just like back and forth, kind of keep things to themselves till they know things. So they do know a lot of stuff. I do feel they're knowledgeable about a lot of things. They have a tendency to look at things from different perspectives. So I have to say they definitely have some Gemini, Libra, Aquarius in their chart. I don't really want to say signs, but yeah, there could be. Some of you could have two. Yeah, it's very possible that you could have two. So, two people who come in and then you have to make a decision. But this is somebody, like I say, if they feel this isn't going to go anywhere, they'll just tell you. They are generally a patient person. Yeah, I do feel like they invest a lot of time in things they like to do. They may have certain hobbies they do too. This is somebody who's always in their head. They keep their mind busy, put it that way. But yeah, if this person knows that you're interested in them, they'll definitely make a move. But it is an energy of patience. You'll likely have to be patient with this person. I do think they juggle work a lot for the most part. Yeah, always perfecting their craft, a bit of a perfectionist. I do think they're picky about who they date and go out with, or even who they commit to. Yeah, it might be a little time before they commit until they know everything that there is to know. They do their due diligence as well. Tell me more. Tell me more. Yeah, this is someone who often gets pinned down by their thoughts. Sometimes they need to take a little break, a little time out. So because of the King of Pentacles being here, which I feel is probably part of this person's energy. But if you have two, like I say, you might compare one to the other. But I do think this is someone who needs a time out, a little me time here and there, everywhere. So I do see the patience, but I do think there's someone who keeps in touch. I don't really see this as somebody who ghosts or ignores, even though I see this up here. I don't think this person does that. If you've dealt with that before, this person doesn't do it. Okay, they don't ghost and ignore. They do take a time out. They often need a break. They need a little time here. But I do think this is someone who often gets into their head. Yeah, they can have that faraway look. I do think they're good with numbers, though. Yeah. I mean, they're definitely somebody of a person of authority and high ranking. Tell me more about this person. Tell me more. Yeah, so this is someone who doesn't budge and give in. Yeah, there's some Taurus energy. They can be a little stubborn. They do kind of protect their money. But they do save. Like, I do see they save a lot of money. They're practical. But I do think that they're generally very generous. But it's all about, it takes a little time for, I feel, this person to warm up. So I do think they're patient for the most part, though. And I do practical, sensible how they spend their money. I don't think they're cheap. They do protect their money. Anything that's theirs, King of Swords. This is somebody who's likely been hurt before, so they kind of have that sword up. And that may be how this person is when you meet them. But then they become more like that King of Pentacles. So, yeah. A little bit patient, very gracious. They like a nice home. They like good food. They like to take their time. You know, when they're eating dinner and things like that. Yeah. I do think they can be generous. And I do feel this is somebody who always aspires to be a good provider. If this person sees you in a favorable light, yeah, they'll definitely make a commitment here. Yeah, I do think this person has acquired a bit of a fortune. But it's all about timing with this person too. So I do see schedules, routines. They're kind of strict. They have a certain strict schedule and routine. So yeah, I don't think it's anything too crazy. I just feel it's just somebody structured, you know. This is how they've succeeded. I do feel that Wheel of Fortune. They might like to gamble a little bit too. They might like to gamble just a little bit. I'm just seeing that, yeah. Yeah, they may have actually done that and won big. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, so they're not perfect. Maybe they're just good at it. Tell me about the Eight of Pentacles. Tell me about the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, this is definitely somebody who longs for love. I mean, they're kind of lonely, I feel. I do feel because they work a lot, but I do feel this is somebody who can be very lovable, very sexy, and very sensuous kind of person, too. Yeah, I see some Gemini energy. I mean, they could be, but they likely have that in their chart. But the interesting thing about the Lovers is this is somebody here who will actually, I mean, kind of build you up here too. I mean, there's something about this, about the two of you coming together. Yeah, I do think this person probably struggles a little between their work and their love life. But they do put in effort. They do put in effort, especially if they see that it's worth it. If you can be patient, I feel it could pay off with this person. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely don't like drama. Yeah, King of Pentacles energy. They don't like drama. Okay. They are action-oriented. They do keep busy. Another thing I see about this person, they can actually be a little bit funny, really good with one-liners. King of Swords energy. They're kind of witty and quite charming in their own way. So yeah, like I feel, they definitely don't like drama, though. I can see it, yeah. I think this person's calm and patient. If you're confrontational, create drama, this person will likely, that would be where this person would cut you out, okay? They don't put up with any BS. Like I say, they expect loyalty. So quite an interesting person for the most part. But let's take a look at that Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, I do think that you can communicate. Speak your truth with this person. They expect truth. Yeah, they're not into people who mince words. It's sort of like get to the point. Say what you need to say. Very interesting. And I would have to say for the masculine, I do see it's probably a similar energy. You know, it's all about building, putting in effort, working. And I do see a little bit of a perfectionist. Like I do see being picky. Okay, they're kind of picky. But I also feel that you may be that way too. Because I do see speaking up, asking this person a lot of questions. Whatever you do, don't be confrontational. Always, if you try to be patient, you'll get a lot further with this person. They are generally a happy person. When you connect with this person, chances are they're just getting out of there, coming out of a lonely energy, that negative kind of energy. Yeah, so they definitely aren't lacking money. So it's possible this person's coming out of that. But I just see loneliness. This is somebody who always feels they don't have enough money. And that's the thing. They always feel they don't have enough money. So it's just they are, could be a little worry-wart at times, but generally they're just a pretty calm person. Yeah, since they're generally pretty happy. Definitely a high vibrational. So it does look like they're coming out of when you meet this person or connect, they're coming out of a period here where they were kind of lonely and sad, or, I mean, this person may have didn't have a lot of money at some point. They've worked hard to get where they're at too, so they do protect it. That's why the sword's up. So don't try to lie to this person. They can't be fooled too easy. They have a very strong intuition. They kind of go on their gut instinct. But yeah, they'll likely keep a lot of their feelings to themselves. If they feel kind of negative about anything, they'll just keep it to themselves until they, or if they're in a mood of any kind, they keep it to themselves. They don't put it on the other person. They're always kind of happy on the outside kind of person. I do think they can be quite funny. I do think they're witty and charming. They speak very clearly. They'll make themselves very clear. They're going to be definitely letting you know. They do like to have fun. Like, they can be funny. They might like sports, maybe competitive sports as well. Yeah, I do think or they just work in a highly competitive industry as well, because they are definitely a person of authority. Really interesting. They can be stubborn if you push, like if you try to push this person, or you try to become confrontational. Definitely. And I do think they get over things very easily. Like if there is a confrontation, they're over it pretty quick. They just blow it off. They never forget, but they forgive kind of energy. No, I think they're just a very positive. Do just communicate clearly with this person. So tell me one more on the Wheel of Fortune. What else you need to know? Yeah, they always try to be fair. Yeah, they are a committal person. But if you try to confront this person about marriage and commitment, I don't know. I mean, I do think they're generally very happy. And I do think this could go fairly well. But for those of you who have a choice, one of these people might be a little more negative, than the other, or you might feel something is lacking. One person's maybe better than the other in some ways to you, but it's whoever makes you happy. This person's going to make you smile. Like, I really actually feel this is really, really positive. I don't feel like this is two, but it could be. I mean, you could be comparing someone to someone else who was very cheap or stubborn, stuck. They are a bit of authoritarian, but they don't. I just feel like they're patient and calm. They're much more patient. I mean, they're a very grounded person. They like to keep their life very balanced. So, yeah, I don't really feel it. I just think if you can be patient, they'll be patient with you. Yeah, seeds well planted. This person's definitely got investments and things. I mean, they could be cash poor and have a lot of investments in businesses or things too. So just so you know on that. But yeah, they are someone who often needs to take a little break, a little time out. They need to, they need to clear their head, time out energy. I don't think this person is someone who's going to ghost you. I really don't get that vibe. But I do think this is someone who, like I say, it feels to me like if they're feeling negative, they'll keep it to themselves. Mum's the word. They do kind of protect themselves, their heart and their money, though. I can tell you, they keep things close to their chest. This person will protect you. They are very protective overall. And I feel very loyal. So I like that energy of loyalty. This person, I feel, has worked very hard to get where they're at. But like I say, their friends are like family. They have good morals and values. They're not really interested in anybody who doesn't want to commit. If you're a non-committal person, or if you pressure them or you're confrontational, they start to get kind of stubborn. But yeah, I do see this person just someone who needs to get out of their head here and there. A little time out to ground themselves. But yeah, they're definitely a confident, strong person, very kind and compassionate. They're very forgiving too. So see, this is the thing. They have a couple parts to them. So, but they are somebody who kind of takes their time checking you out to see if you got good morals, values, or, yeah. They are someone who sees things from definitely different perspectives. And that's what I think some of you might find this, could find it a good habit or bad habit. But They definitely keep things to themselves till they've looked at things a couple ways, learned everything they need to know. They won't budge and give in, and, you know, and, yeah, they won't budge and give in until they know they've learned everything they need to know. It's not like they're not going to say anything, but if they think there's something negative going on, they'll probably keep it to themselves and just kind of check things out further before they say anything. So, yeah, they are private. They are a private person. What goes on between you stays between you. Very interesting. So there they are in a nutshell. I do feel they have their good and their bad points. For some of you, you may not like some of these things, but like I say, they are a person who likes to think things through. They generally try to be fair. See, they're kind, compassionate, very forgiving. If you ask for forgiveness and tell the truth, if you've maybe been kept a secret or done something, they're forgiving, as long as that truth comes out. So you see, I feel they're actually pretty interesting. I like the fact that they can make you smile. They'll make you happy. They work hard to make you happy. So I don't think this is somebody, you know, this is someone who knows, I think, relationships are work. I do. Yeah, they won't compete. It's an emperor. They won't compete. If you are interested in someone else or juggling, or you want to date someone else, this person will definitely, that's likely when you would get ghosted or cut out very quickly. So take care, Sagittarius, and we will see you soon.